Let's talk about Maura West. 3 daytime Emmy wins, over 15 years on one soap, a role she created from scratch that became one of daytime television's most celebrated characters. And right now, in 2026, she's in the middle of what might be the most dangerously compelling storyline of her entire General Hospital run. If you are not paying close attention to what Ava Jerome is doing with Jenz Sidwell, you are missing something that has the potential to redefine this character all over again. But first, let's go back to the beginning, because understanding where Maura West came from makes everything she does on screen hit that much harder. Maura West was born on April 27th, 1972, in Springfield, Massachusetts, the youngest of 4 children with 2 brothers and a sister. She grew up in Ludlow, Massachusetts, and later attended Boston University, where she graduated with a bachelor's degree in fine arts. That academic foundation matters because what West brings to every role she plays isn't just natural charisma, it's craft, it's precision. It's the kind of technical understanding of performance that you build in a classroom and then sharpen over decades in front of a camera. In 1995, West joined the cast of the CBS soap opera As the World Turns in the role of Carly Tenney. She held the role initially from April 1995 to May 1996, then returned in September 1997 and stayed with the show right through to its series finale in September 2010. Do the math on that. She was with As the World Turns for the better part of 15 years, making Carly Tenney one of the most iconic characters in that show's history. And the awards followed. Her work as Carly earned her 2 daytime Emmys for Outstanding Lead Actress in 2007 and 2010, along with multiple Soap Opera Digest Award nominations. 2 Emmy wins for the same role, on the same show. That is not a fluke. That is a talent that simply will not be denied. On April 24, 2013, it was confirmed that West had joined the cast in the newly created role of Ava Jerome, and she first appeared on May 8th of that year. And right away, it was clear this wasn't going to be a background character. Ava Jerome was conceived as a woman with deep ties to Port Charles's criminal world, the daughter of the late mob boss Victor Jerome, and West grabbed the role with both hands and never let go. Critics took notice almost immediately. The Boston Herald called her mesmerizing and described her as sultry, sexy, vulnerable, vindictive, sometimes in the same scene. One reviewer famously wrote that this was originally supposed to be a 5-episode storyline. 5 episodes? Ava Jerome is still on General Hospital over a decade later. That tells you everything about what Maura West does to a character. Her performance earned General Hospital's head writer Ron Carlivati to observe, "Now, to see what she has brought to the character of Ava, it has just been amazing. It is so different than the character she played before, and what that shows me is she can pretty much do anything." And in 2015, the Academy agreed. West won her 3rd Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress for her portrayal of Ava Jerome, her first Emmy win for GH, and a validation of what viewers had been watching since day one. She has since received an extraordinary 12 total Daytime Emmy nominations across her career, a number that puts her firmly in the conversation about the greatest daytime actresses of her generation. Now, over a decade into her run as Ava, West is navigating one of the most fascinating gray areas the writers have ever put this character in. And it revolves entirely around Jenz Sidwell, the shady, dangerous, and undeniably compelling billionaire, played by Carlo Rota, who's been making waves in Port Charles since his arrival. When Sidwell first appeared, he made his way to Ava's gallery, purchased art for his new home at Windermere, and the scenes between them were immediately undeniably charged with something electric. Ava, whose financial situation had taken some serious hits in the period prior, found herself intrigued by a man of enormous wealth and even more enormous secrets. But here's what makes the storyline so rich and so watchable. It's not just a romance, or at least it doesn't appear to be just a romance, because Ava Jerome is not a woman who acts without layers. She never has been. Every move she makes has a calculation behind it, and the question hanging over every scene between her and Sidwell is deceptively simple. What does Ava actually want here? During the Wednesday, April 15th episode of General Hospital, Ava paid a visit to Mayor Laura Collins, played by the legendary Jeannie Francis, and the conversation turned to Sidwell's controversial new helicopter flight path. Rather than distance herself from the situation, Ava actively went to bat for Sidwell. She argued that the man was processing the death of his son, Marco Rios, and was throwing himself into work as a way of managing his grief. She reminded Laura that building goodwill with a man who always gets what he wants anyway was simply good politics. And then she went directly to Windermere and told Sidwell exactly what she'd done.